Let's be clear. Lori wants love in 1993, but she didn't say she wants it to be easy, which is why it's over before it's begun. Find out why Cash Cab is a true test of character. Lori goes on the wrong booze cruise. Kim nearly has a stroke. And Terri hard launches her new relationship, which, speaking of the 90s, is with a girl she went to high school with. True story. Welcome to Generation Artax.
Are you ready for us? Come on, Kim. I'm interviewing you, Lori. Everybody knows I am the star of this show. Have we see?
Well, hello. Welcome to Generation Artax. I'm Terri, and I am using a new curl product that I am loving. I'm going to say it. They're not a sponsor, but they could be. I found them. It's called Curlsmith, and it is called Moisture Memory, and it is day 2 curls, people, and it's working. Thanks.
I'm Kim. I'm the middle, and I'm going off your theme of because I have nothing to say. My hair's been the same since like 5th grade. I sense that the spring is coming, and I know everyone runs towards it, but there's a part of me that wants to stay in my winter hidey hole and watch TV. Are you rolling your eyes at me?
1,000%.
Mm-hmm. She agrees with me. I have so many TV shows I need to catch up on. I just wanted to. I like the darkness sometimes, and I adjust. I love the spring and the summer when it comes, but right now I'm just kind of like, oh, wait.
Me too. I'm glad you feel that way.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm Lori, and we are recording this on St. Patrick's Day, and I did go get corned beef and cabbage at an Irish pub.
That
with a nice
25%
little
Irish
mocktail. Look, I love corned beef and cabbage so much, and I only have it on St. Patrick's Day. It is the one thing that Gordy can't cook and doesn't want to. He tried last year, and I don't know what was wrong with it. I was like, it's not right. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, you cut it wrong or something. I don't know. And he doesn't eat it. So, and I'm the only one who would eat it. So he's not going to make it. So I went and had it. And
am I wrong that St. Patrick's Day food smells like farts?
Oh, it does. No. It 100% smells like farts. That's not, it's not cabbage.
Cabbage
It smells like farts. It turns you into farts. It's like everything.
You embody the fart
smell.
I don't
trying
know
to
why.
picture corned beef, like, because it's so salty, or like, what do you?
It's Mom made it, didn't she?
Yeah,
I feel like we had it a lot at home.
She did.
It's very salty, and there's something about, and there's like a lot of fat in it, and then it's just something about it. It's like made up of like little stacks of meat. Like it's not, you know what I mean? You can shred it, and it has a different texture and layout to it. Maybe I don't know if that's just the way it's cut, but it's so good. And cabbage smells terrible, and it tastes amazing. And I love it. Like it smelled horrible in the car, like my leftovers on the way home. Wow, terrible. Yeah. But like, it's weird to know something smells bad, but because you know it tastes good, you still like it.
That's like
so
cheese.
Like, that smells terrible, but I love it. Yeah, it's like cheese.
It's like cheese.
Yeah. I was going to say, I feel like we had this conversation.
I just wanted to say, I do love that about winter. I always love when I do like daylight save. I like the fall back. I like when it gets darker earlier because it's cold, because I don't want to be outside anyway. You know what I mean? I love all that, but I'm just so excited for warmth and my bike rides. I just can't wait to get back to my bike rides outside, looking at houses. So I'm excited for it to get warm.
Love the outdoor part where you're like walking or running, like, but I also pull at the covers of winter. Like, no, don't pull it away. Because when spring comes, like when you go outside and it's still light in the evening, I feel exposed. Like when someone wakes you up from a nap too quickly and then you have to be in a room full of people. That's what spring feels like. I feel exposed and like I'm not ready to join the world. I love a dark little hidey hole. I also want to add that the reason it's called corned beef is something I didn't know, is for the large grained corn-sized salt crystals historically used to dry cure the meat. Today it is corned by soaking beef brisket in saltwater brine. And that's what makes it so salty. But I didn't know it was because the salt was corn-sized. That's interesting.
Did not know that.
Fun fact, everybody.
Yeah, that's why we did it wrong. There was no corn-sized salt in this house when Courtney was making it. Maybe that was the problem. So you didn't corn it.
You just had beef and farts.
I just had beef. That's
it. Gross. Gross.
Totally. Well, here's the good news about spring, though, that allows you to pull the covers is that it always rains so much, and then you can huddle at home.
I don't hate that. I know. I don't hate that.
Okay. Well, we know we had a warm front through here on the East Coast a week or so ago where it got to 75 degrees and people were outside.
It wasn't 75 here, but to you, yeah.
It was sunbathing. It was running. I went out on a run. I was like, oh, we're here. We're here. And this is happening now. And then less than a week later, I looked out the window and it was snowing. And I said, I love this. How would you feel if the seasons were such that you weren't really sure what you're going to get? Like you woke up one day, it's like, today's 85. And then tomorrow's like, tomorrow will be 30 degrees. I kind of like that variety. I think I hate that we're coming up and it's getting warmer. We're coming up on that block of sweaty months that are just, they get worse and worse every year. I'd love to break it up with some snowstorms through the summer.
No, I just, because I just want to, obviously I'm already in my tank top. I just want to wear like my sundresses and tank tops and my, my overalls, my free people overalls, like with a tank all day. I just, you
don't mind all the sweating? You know, the sweating is unbearable.
I have temperature controlled environments. I'm fine.
I guess because you guys have cars. Like when I have to go somewhere.
Oh yeah, you have to go through
sweat. You have to walk, then you go down to the subway where it is unbearable.
Oh,
and the subway car is probably cool. But while you're waiting for the train, you just feel sweat dropping down your back, down your it's awful. You come home, you have to shower every time you get in the door.
Yeah, that's gross.
I don't love that.
Yeah, no, if anything, it's very confusing at work because it's like super hot out. You go inside, you go into work and it's always too cold with AC. And I'm like, I still need like winter layers just to be in the office.
Well, the thing is we can't control it and it's happening. And there's nothing more out of our control than weather right now. So we just grin and bear it, I guess. We can't control it. We can't even I hope it doesn't rain that day. What weird prayers we have to weather. We cannot control this thing.
It's a lot of weather talk.
It is a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it impacts all of us.
Yep.
That's why you can always talk about the weather.
That's right. It's a default. It's always there and it's always happening.
That's true.
You got something to read, Laura?
All right. Lori's gearing up. Lori's got a notebook out in her hands.
Okay. So this is, where's your kitty boo?
Where's your kitty boo?
That was because Terri's cat Romeo was on screen, which you wouldn't know because you're all not watching. It's November 28th, 1993. Okay.
You are.
I start up.
I just turned 17 6 days prior.
So you're 14.
You were 14.
I'm 14. Okay. I start off with, I don't know what to say.
Oh.
I don't know what to say. I want love so bad right now.
I want love so bad?
Yeah. I mean, that's like literally every entry. I just want love. It's sad. I guess you're right. It's not. And I actually had okay. Anyway, Scott really likes me. Mike said he can't stop talking about me. He said I was so beautiful. I've always wanted to be beautiful. Mike said, quote, I know, and I never get beautiful now because Gordy's word is cute. Mike said, so you want to go out with her or like hook up and all that? Mike said to Scott. And Scott said, yo, I just want to hold her.
Oh my God, that is the sweetest thing ever.
I know, Scott's really nice. And I said, can you believe that? I hate myself! Exclamation point.
What?
I know. Next sentence, right?
Why?
I just don't feel it.
Oh.
It's too easy.
Oh.
There is no passion. It's like all there, no challenge. Terri understands.
Oh, I do.
I don't. I'm like, oh, he likes me, great, I'm in. Oh, he doesn't like me, great, I'm in.
Then I quote, and here's what I also love about the fact that I quote, because this is so something we did in papers, is that I indented on both sides.
You did a block quote?
I did a block quote.
Block quote. Good for you.
In writing, the easy attainment of love makes it of little value. Difficulty of attainment makes it prized. Quote, rules of Courtney love.
That's exactly who you should be quoting it.
Is this like Nietzsche?
Courtney love?
The rules of Courtney love? Like, is there a book? Was I deciding? Can someone look up? Is there a
I
book
am.
called Rules of Courtney Love, or did I just like? Am I just claiming that they're rules? Her rules. Like when am I?
my
Look it up,
It
and
had to be
says
in
the
like
rules-
17 magazine. Like
It
where
says
the hell?
rules. Oh, see, there was something famous called the 31 Rules of Courtly Love.
Oh shit, you're right.
It's not
it says
Courtney
Courtly. That's the problem with
It's
not wearing
Courtney
real
Love.
glasses.
It's Courtly. Those are the rules because there's
that's
no
even-
way Courtney Love said that.
Okay, that makes so much more sense.
Funny.
Okay,
This sounds very proper. So it
Oh
sounds
my
like a courtly love.
God.
Okay,
Courtly
yes.
love. Is it like
Courtly
old
love?
school? Like
Yeah, it's like these are the rules of courtly love.
Oh, I
Court.
don't
All
like
right, so
those.
where the
I
fuck?
already
Why
don't
am
like
I
them.
reading the rules of courtly love?
Why would
Like,
you
what
even
is
have
this?
access
When
to
was
that?
that written? What year is that written? Like the 1800s?
But there's no internet.
Yes,
Like,
that
where
means
did you
I'm
see
holding the book in my
I'm
hand.
just telling
Apparently,
you, it was practiced. Courtly love, which is fin d'amour, was a medieval literary concept focusing on nobility, chivalry, and forbidden desire practiced outside of marriage. It was codified by someone in the 12th century. The 31 rules emphasize that love is intense, jealous, secretive, and free, requiring intense service from a knight to his lady.
okay. So I'm flipping through this old medieval book, trying to
Yeah.
deciding that I shouldn't like Scott.
I found it. Core characteristics of courtly love. Difficulty increases value. The harder love is to attain, the more valued it is. There you go.
Oh, I hate that.
Okay.
It also says that another core characteristic is physical reaction. The sight of the beloved causes palpitations of the heart and turning pale.
Wow. A very
That's weird.
immature, probably 12-year-old wrote that.
Oh,
What are
you
you
think?
saying? This
Are
is
you
like
talking to Kim?
old from the 12th century. What are you talking about?
Yes. But people weren't living to like 70 and being like,
That's not a
Okay.
12-year-old. These were adults. Anyway,
Wrote a book.
you don't know that.
What do you think? 12-year-old walked into the
these
publishers.
are key rules. You know what the number one rule is? Marriage is no excuse. Marriage is not a barrier to true love.
Oh,
Jealousy is
Okay.
essential. One cannot love without being
oh,
jealous.
now
You're
that
telling me
is
this is not an
not-
immature person? This is a very immature person.
This is a belief system of the time.
It
It's
is a
not
belief
one
system.
person.
Isn't not even just of the time.
How about
I know
this?
A lot of people who feel that way.
There's a lot of truth here. Secrecy is paramount. Publicly revealed love rarely lasts. That's
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
You think of people who've been together
Well-
a long time, and the minute they get married, then they divorce 2 years later. I've heard people do that. I know people have done that.
I mean,
Yeah.
people have done everything.
No, that's true.
And if we're talking about like major celebrities, sure, that's like too much pressure, because everybody's watching and sure. But if we're just talking about like publicly, meaning at all, just anyone knowing you're in a relationship, it's not
No.
gonna work.
Publicly meaning, think of the court, the big
I
acknowledgement of
see
the
what you're saying.
court. They're saying that. I love this one though. The lady
I do
is
not think
superior.
that's true.
The lady is superior. The lady is viewed as a superior being, and the knight
Okay.
serves her faithfully.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, this book is back.
It's
Yeah.
back on track.
Back. We're
Okay.
good about it.
It's too much against it, but in my mind. But anyway, go ahead.
I love
Anyway,
it,
I just
Dawn.
said it just hasn't clicked. I wish so bad that it was all there. I sometimes pretend it is. I was a freshman. Kim, you were a senior. He lived near the school. I knew he was going to ask me out because that was the term for like be my girlfriend, right?
Mhm.
Like, oh, he's going to ask me out, not like
Right.
for a date, right? So
Right.
I was like, oh God, he's going to ask me out. He's going to ask me out. And then I don't even remember what people said back then when they asked you out. Did they say, I think they said, do you want to go out?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's yes. And that
Now
just
you're
means
going
like
out with
girlfriend,
them.
boyfriend.
Now
Yeah,
you're growing
going
out. Now
out.
you're
Yeah.
Right.
You don't actually have a plan to go anywhere. It's like
No,
you
no,
just
no.
wanna
going
go
out. Yeah.
right.
And then it was like, yes. And it's like,
But
oh
if
God,
you-
we're
if
going
you
out.
just- But if you hooked up with him once, you went with him.
Yes.
No, I don't think I
All
did. I don't think I said that.
All of my
that was
journals are like,
our
I went with
generation.
him. Yeah.
I went
I
with
went
him.
with him. Maybe
Mhm.
I don't have any of that. But so one day I don't know what you were doing, Kim, but you offered to drop me off at his house and then you'd something going on and then you were gonna like pick me back up after school. So you dropped me off and then like I saw him and I was like, and then like we immediately went down to his basement to make out. Like that's all
Ew. That feels gross.
yeah.
You don't
It
look like
did.
you were excited about it. So
Yeah, it wasn't like he wasn't like trying to do like a lot more. It was just like a makeout sesh, but like yeah, it was
just
weird
wanted
because
to
it
hold
wasn't.
you.
he just
He
wanted,
wanted to
hold you.
hold me, and I just didn't. Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't like it was like a bad kiss, but I wasn't all like super excited about it.
Hmm.
So then Kim picked me up, And then I think the next day I was like, I don't know about this. I don't think this is going to work. And I think the day after that we broke up. We went out for 72 hours. So that was, I remember that. And then I don't even remember how I told him. I think I was just like,
we are no longer going out.
Yeah. I want to stop going out. I know. What do you say? I don't, the term, this isn't going to work or what?
Staying in.
You know what? I'd like to stay in.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So that happened. But there was no like bad feelings, at least not that I'm aware of. We stayed very friendly. We were just like, it was fine. It was like, it was all good.
Can we take apart that thing though, that this idea of like, it was too easy. I didn't like it because it was too easy. And if it's hard, then I'll like it. First of all, we all have talked about this before, how there's an anxiety associated with it and how we misconstrue that for the best kind of love or achievement. And when we associate anxiety with it, we're kind of setting ourselves up for trouble. Like, why couldn't we just say like, because he likes you and, oh, can't you make it work? Or, oh, you don't feel that way. It's like, you just didn't like him and he happened to like you.
It's right. Well, I wonder about this.
It's not that you just weren't into him.
Yeah, she's just not that into him. But my question was, is it also due to an insecurity, I'm sure, right? Where it doesn't feel like it's valuable because you want to get the person who could have anybody, and then you feel like you're more value if you are like selected.
Yes, of course. Right? He had a certain standing. He was not but do you really think in your mind, I know we can't reverse engineer this, but was he someone who, when you saw him in a crowd or something before you knew his social standing, that you were like, oh my God, he's so super hot?
He was a good looking kid. And he was a good looking kid and he was nice. And I did think he was, I do.
There was a little bit of a game. Let's pretend that he was hard to get, that he was with someone else and you were like, oh, but he's so cute. And you could fixate, which is another thing we do. And I think that means love. What if you did fixate and then finally you worked on it and he broke up with the other girl and he went for you? Then you'd be like, oh my God, that's amazing. You can't convince me that would have, not that you were trying to make it happen, but that would have lasted forever simply because of an adjustment of availability at the start.
I don't know, actually. I disagree.
It could have lasted a little longer because it could have. That high of being chosen would have maybe like carried it a little bit farther.
Because I didn't get to know. It wasn't like, oh, I stopped liking him because I got to know him and we didn't. Like, I didn't really give it that much of a chance. Right? And I remember when I used to think that, oh, there's girls like assholes, you know, the nice guy never wins, was because I remember saying this. I think I wrote this back when I blogged, that I thought, well, the nice guy will be nice to anyone, so you're not special.
Oh, see, that's why people do. Is that why people go with jerks? Because they're a jerk to everyone else?
Wait, you thought that as like an early 20s?
Oh, I wrote about it, but I think I was writing about it thinking about me in high school at the time. I think was the context of what I was talking about. My God, I don't think I thought at the time, I don't want a nice guy.
We couldn't have been more opposite in that way. I wanted someone who was nice to everyone, actually. Like,
isn't that interesting?
I didn't want him to be mean to everyone. I wanted to feel special.
Yeah.
And I felt well, he likes me, but in the next person, he'll treat them exactly the same. He's not, it doesn't matter who it is. It's just like, you know, the cab lights on thing, right?
Do you remember a book in the 1990s called The Rules? Time-tested secrets for capturing the heart of Mr. Right, which was a popular book at the time. And of course, very polarizing. And just based on what Lori just said about how that guy, because it was too easy and there's too much slack on the line. There was no tension, right? Some of the examples of the rules were: be a creature unlike any other. Rule number 1, right? Be special. Do not talk to a man first or initiate conversation. Do not call him and rarely return his calls. Do not see him more than once or twice a week. Let him take the lead. And this was a best-selling book. It was very controversial for all the reasons, but it was like, don't text him, don't whatever. That was the complete reverse of what we're saying, which was wanting to raise your own availability and specialness, because you can't just have me because I'm not a holler back girl. Like, I'm not going to text you back right away. So in a way, women were being taught the same thing around that time, or, you know, right around that time. But because he almost should have read the rules. You know what I mean? He was
I
too
hated that.
This is what typically happens, right? Guys are like, no, dude, don't call her right away. You gotta
right.
That's
the problem.
Right. But like, is there any truth to it at all? Is there such a thing as too available?
I disagree.
Is there a time in your life that you want the super available, and there's a time in the life that you don't? I hesitate to bring up Sex in the City. I'll just bring it up really, really quick. But there was an episode. I don't know. I feel like Kim's gonna be like, not again.
I'm watching it right now, so I'm way into it. Go ahead.
No, it was just the beginning of Carrie and Aiden's relationship. It was too easy, and she said, "You're just so available," and so then he didn't call her for 3 days, and she lost her shit. And then she like stalked him down, and she's like, "Oh my God, are we okay?" And he goes, "You said you wanted me less available. I was being less available." And she was like, "You don't have to do everything I say." And then it was fine.
Economy, scarcity. Our whole entire economy is based on scarcity and commodity, and who has access to things, and how do I get access to that thing? Of course, it's going to translate into human relationships. You know,
I just never agreed with any of those concepts. Like never, ever, ever. The rules, I remember hearing that and being like, I hate all of it. If you're both equally excited about talking to each other, you should spend all the time you want together.
I agree with that. I do, of course.
But it's a game. People playing a game. The rules.
I know, but I hated the game. And I want somebody I could see evidence that they're nice to everybody, but they made me feel extra special because it's not one or the other. They're not mutually exclusive. Someone could be super nice to everybody and make you feel extra special.
Yes, but I meant if he picked another girl to date, he would make her feel the same level of extra special as you.
I never thought that.
I know. It's not what I wanted later in life. There was a point
from then.
Right.
No, I understand. But I'm saying if the rules was like a whole thing, which it was, a lot of people were trying to follow that. And I hated it because I never ever agreed with any of that.
They were trying to create value where women feel unvalued a lot of times. So it's an artificial way to construct the perception of value.
It's artificial. That's maybe my biggest problem with it.
Right. But I will say all games are not artificial. When you play a game, let's just say when Lori and the kids come and we go play these physical games, go to these places, or when we play board games, we like game because there's stakes, even if they're very low
stakes,
right?
Right.
There's
stakes,
100%. There's play. Like you and Joe have a lot of play together. Like you guys have played together. Some couples just don't. There's no game. And the only game they had maybe was in the beginning. But I think there's a difference between those kinds of stupid games that are not true and you're putting up a false front, and actually how important games and play is. Because it is important. And that is a kind of tension, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. But I wonder, Kim was more secure always than I was. She just came out that way. Obviously, look at her journals. Like, life's great. Everything's amazing, whatever. Right. And so I'm wondering, well, did she always feel that way because she was secure? And it was only till I got later in life where I was more comfortable in my skin and that I didn't have that need to chase. I didn't want that. You know what I mean? Did I have to become more accepting of myself before I was,
of course,
I didn't need the validation from someone else. Right.
If you're comfortable in your own skin, you're invincible. That's all there is to it.
Hey, it's Terri from Generation Artax. And listen, I love a good story. Who doesn't? If you didn't, you wouldn't bother with books, TV, movies, or even podcasts. We love listening to stories, but there's also something really powerful about writing your own. You may see yourself as a reader or a listener, and maybe you wouldn't dare call yourself a writer. But here's the truth. If you can read, you can write. If there's something you would love to write, share, or get out there, there is no better or safer place to do it than this little program I run called the New Rules Studio, or Studio for short. It's a live, virtual, real-time writing space led by certified instructors where you get to explore your own ideas, your own creativity, memories, stories without judgment or criticism. Since you're a listener of this podcast, I would like to invite you to come write with me for free. You can get the invite at territrespicio.com/write with me. That's territrespicio.com/write with me. But there's no point at which you no longer need attention or someone to care. Like, no, I don't think I graduate from that. Even if I'm very confident, which I think of myself as pretty confident, it still matters to me that, that I feel that I'm being accepted or approved of by certain people. Like, of course it matters.
Well, so do I, but it's not like, I don't know.
But Gordy was always available to, he was very clear about his feelings, always. So I didn't feel like I had to, I wasn't
there was none
preferring
of that.
him because
there was no more chasing.
Right.
But I will say that is one of my favorite things about all people, not just like somebody you date, is you said a sense of play. And I have pinpointed that as one of my absolute favorite things about people. And I think the best, such a fun example of that is that show, that Cash Cab or whatever, when people just like, is a reality show and people would just randomly hop in a New York City cab and all of a sudden they'd get in just like, oh, I need to go, and the lights like start going and they're like, welcome to Cash Cab. And then they're like, on our route to your drop off or whatever, I'm going to ask you 10 questions and I'm going to give you $1 for each question or whatever. And just like random trivia questions. And when people on that show were like, I'm in, and they'd be like dancing excited, like out of nowhere. They were just like schlepping to the grocery store and then all of a sudden they're playing this fun game. It's one of my most favorite things about human beings.
Yes.
That the ability to do that. To like jump into like you're playing, you're joyful, you're doing fun things, even when you like least expect it. Spontaneity is a whole separate thing, but like sometimes when those come together, it's one of my favorite things about like being in a flesh suit.
Yes.
Skin suit. What did you call it? A skin suit.
Skin suit.
It's one of my favorite things about my experience in a skin suit.
When I was working from home, like right after I got laid off from the magazine, I was working from home for a few months and I realized if I'm going to work from home, I need to have a reason to leave my house. Like I need to find a reason and it can't just be go sit somewhere else and do work. Right. So that's when I signed up. I'd been meaning to for a long time and finally was like, I'm going to sign up for an improv class. And I signed up for a class at the Magnet.
That's like a different level of that's a vomiting sense of play.
I signed up at the Magnet Theater here in New York, very popular. People of all walks of life. They're not just actors. They're certainly not comedians. They're not professional actors. It is sort of a gateway drug to other kinds of theater and play. And what I like about it is most people who are trying it have tried it for the first time, and level one, you're getting all kinds of ages and whatever. So when I took that class, I kind of fell in with this group, and it was a big group. It was like 20 some people in that class. A smaller, clatch of us in there got to be very close. Two of those people.
Clatch?
I like that word. I want to use it more. I like it.
What is this a group?
Like a coffee clatch, like a little group of people that kind of like latch onto each other,
Oh, I love it.
Wait, it's a something that latches?
What's a
clatch?
Yeah, have you ever heard of that? I think it was like an SNL skit. A clatch definition. No, clatch is to grasp or seize something tightly. Coffee clatch. Oh, a clatch with a K. An informal social gathering for coffee.
Wow.
It comes from the German word Kaffee Klatsch.
Wait, so then saying coffee clatch is redundant because it's meant for coffee.
Well, their word is one word, Kaffee Klatsch, but in English it's coffee clatch because it'd be like informal.
Sorry.
But anyway, improv is very formal.
Wait, hold on. I love that so much. I'm afraid I'm going to forget it. Don't forget. Don't let me forget that. I would love to have a coffee clatch.
A coffee clatch. That's it.
Aww.
So we had a bit of a coffee clatch. We didn't get coffee, but we just got like kind of closer. And in fact, 3 at least, 2 of those people remain my closest friends since I moved to New York, the closest. But the group of us, we all agreed to like, we had so much fun. We took the next 2 years. What are we taking now? We're taking level 2. Okay. And we all took class together, and 2 of those people met in that class and got married, and we all went to the wedding in Morocco. Like
can I know who the 3 are?
That wedding?
Yeah. Christina and Michael got married in Morocco, and there was a table of us who were all in improv together. And it was really fun.
Who are the 3 from the coffee clatch?
The people I'm the closest to, I still talk to Christina, of course, and see her. I mean, occasionally, but Rachel and Cameron.
Oh,
they're my friends from that group.
You met them there?
Yes, I met Rachel in that class, and Cam sat next to me. I had no idea how old people were. I had no idea. Of course, I was the oldest one, pretty much. But Rachel was like, "Hey, Gary, we should go out after class together." And she really pushed hard to get us to socialize. We would have gone home. I know it. And she was like, come on, you guys,
Yeah.
come on. Like, she's always the party starter. And so she takes credit for the fact that we all got to know each other, but they are totally dear. My point of bringing it up is that I had never done it. I was a little bit, nervous about it. But with improv, as anyone who's taken it knows, the game is you go all in on the game and you're literally not allowed to say no. You say yes and everything, right? So when you're a yes ander, you're kind of in. So if you put two people up there and they're like, oh my God, don't you love the view from the spaceship? They're like, oh, yeah, I think it's fantastic. That as a social tool, like just jumping in. And I swear, it's not like it changed my personality, but it did give me a lens through which to see how transformative it could be, because I felt very close to those people. I didn't know their last names. I didn't know what they do. And we never had a moment where like, let's go around and say what people do. You had no idea. So like,
but there was a level of vulnerability. There was a unique vulnerability that you all had to be willing to be. And so you can feel close very quickly. Yeah.
And speaking of
fun to play with them,
I met one of Terri's best friends before Terri even knew her, because we both signed up to do beach volleyball as adults.
Right. Kimmy.
Right.
Yeah. Talk about play.
You didn't know her before me.
I thought I knew her before you.
No, I worked with her for 10 years at an office and we never spoke.
Oh,
not 10
but you
years,
weren't friends.
Okay, but you weren't friends.
Okay, to be clear, I was her professor at Emerson first. She was a grad student and I was her professor. And then she came to work at the magazine where I worked. And we just were ships passing in the night for, when I say 5 years. And then the magazine moved to New York. I moved with it. She moved away. But before that, Lori played beach volleyball.
In California?
Nope.
You lived
in Boston.
In Massachusetts. In Massachusetts, they played. Anyway, it's weird how you meet people, but games for adults, very important to play games.
Yeah, and Erin is my only friend that we will not hang out without playing games.
Right.
Like it's
like the scaffolding. It gives you something to do instead of eat.
Yeah.
Well,
and drink.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Just at the core of that like sense of play in a person is this like it's hope. Because otherwise you have to be hopeful. Oh, this could be a fun moment. Like this could become a fun moment. You have to, that is part of being a playful person, is being a hopeful person. If you are kind of like, here we go. It's another lame day. It's raining. This is going to be a bad day. People go into their days that way. There's no sense of hope. If you're willing to all of a sudden code switch into, you're having such a fun time, you carry around this bit of like hope day to day,
That's interesting. I never connected play to hope. It's also how you
I would kind of connect it sometimes just to competition more than hope. Some people like to play things because they like to compete.
No, I'm not talking about that. You're talking about play. You're talking about playing games with stakes.
You just mean playful.
A sense of play, a playfulness.
A sense of play. Okay.
Mom always said that too, that it was important. She says it. Like she's like, it's just. I remember talking to her about people that I dated or whatever. She's like, does he have a sense of play?
Yes,
that really mattered,
Yeah, someone who can like just break into silly at the drop of a hat, and it matters.
Can you be silly? Are you and Gordy silly together?
Silly.
Like, do you do voices? I don't know. Like,
yes.
All right. This could go down a really weird.
No, you know what though? It's more like, for me, my favorite thing is he will dive into anything I put on, even if it's something he would never put on. So if I put on a random reality show, like, let's watch a couple random episodes of, Love at First Sight or whatever it is, or any of those,
He'll go in on it.
He won't just be like, oh God, one of these stupid shows. He'll start fully, even if he's playing on his phone, he'll start commenting on everything they say or be like, oh my God, what is she thinking? Why would she even want to be with this guy? He gets into it. And that I really enjoy that, this watching stupid stuff together. But now, so I mean, that's more of the play. I feel like, I don't know. I guess I don't know if silly's the right word, but I don't want to make it sound like we're
it's silly's just one version of it. But I mean, don't you think watching TV with someone that you love is a form of play? It might not seem like that if two people just sit on a couch and watch TV and never talk, but the TV or the show is something to play with. Like Kimmy and I watch our movies. We like to play
100%.
with it.
Yeah.
But I'd say parallel play is our actual favorite. Just like,
but that's a different category.
That's not play together. That's peacefulness together, doing your own things.
That's
where someone is vying for someone else's attention. Okay, can I just say this now because I keep dancing around it. We should just say it. I'm going to hard launch this thing. We've talked about Kim's friends from high school and We've talked about, and we joke about, we say their names all the time. We use their real names. One of the person's names is Allie. I have been dating.
Wait, the one
who stole my car. The one who stole the car. Yeah. The one who sold the car, and trust me, I gave her hell for it. It's been a few months, but we have been dating. And it is odd because I have known her essentially 40 years and I only came out 2 years ago. But I got back in touch with her a few months ago, just as friends, as we always kind of had been casually in touch. And now we're dating. And I just feel like I have to say it because I want to say things. And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't say anything. I was like, you know what? This is my life right now. I should be able to talk about my life right now.
Yeah, you didn't need to hard launch it. You could just talk about it.
Yeah, but we talk about Allie here. She's not just a random, chick who now is in my life. Like she's in all the entries. It's the same Allie. The reason I mention is because she is someone who's incredibly playful, and she has this really funny looking little dog whose name is Ivan, and he's a funny, ugly, adorable little guy. But sometimes we'll be on Marco Polo, but sometimes I'll be like, what does Ivan think? And she has a voice for Ivan. So it'll go to Ivan and he'll be like, Terri, listen. Like, and she'll do the whole, like, I'll be on Polo with Ivan and she's the ventriloquist. Like, and it's like the funniest thing ever that sometimes we'll start doing it to each other when the dog's not even in the room. And that like total silliness, like I have laughed so hard with her.
Well, that was her biggest contribution to our friend group, is she was so relentlessly hilarious.
So funny and willing to be silly and stupid. And that, to me, I'm like, it's so important because I've been in a few relationships, and with women where it's not funny at all. It's serious as fuck. And that's not fun. Where you're like, we're really serious about each other. And it's always like, I'm sad because I'm in love with you so much and I can't see you. And there's a kind of drama. And I'd rather have silly than drama.
Oh, drama's terrible.
Of course. The levity is critical. Just
drama
for life.
Fun. Yeah.
Just
drama
for
was
life.
fun a long time ago. But after a while, it's just exhausting. You just want to like live, get up,
you also
be
have
happy,
to
go to
fun of
bed.
yourself. You have to like not take yourself too seriously. If someone takes themselves very seriously, some other people I dated, they can't kind of play in that way because they can't joke about themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's such a wonderful characteristic of a person. And
that would be a very big dark hole in my life if my entire marriage wasn't like that.
Well, you've always had that. Like Joe's playful.
Yeah.
But is my version of play like fine? Like, are we not silly enough? I mean, we
Kim
do
and Joe are not
things.
doing voices.
We play games. Well, Joe can be really silly. You know what I mean?
He does
And,
do an Australian accent.
It'd be funny. Like even last night, just like, oh, the big game's on. Like it's just really, it's that kind of funny,
Yeah.
But our play is like,
Or you don't have to feel. We're not comparing play.
We're not comparing play.
Well, you're like, are you silly?
Well, the fact is,
no, I don't know if we are silly.
No, but like funny. You are funny. Gordy is a wonderful audience for you because you are a card, as they say. Like you're one of the funniest people any of us knows.
Card.
So not everyone has to be like a huge comedian. I mean, look at me. I'm a big mouth. I want a hot mic in front of me all the time. And like Allie's quiet. She's funny, but it's under the, we're not competing for that, so. But no, you're funny. You're funny. You're hilarious, Laura. You're one of the funniest people. Gordy is like probably just laughing all the time.
He makes me laugh.
Let's not underestimate. If we're not talking about all the most important characteristics of a person, everyone has their flaws. But one of the big things about Gordy is that he's so warm.
Oh
he's
yeah,
so warm and steady, and there's a lot to be said for that. You could be with someone who's really hilarious who is mean. You know what I mean?
So, the least mean person that has
the
ever
least
been.
mean person, right?
Yeah.
Like I always think if all of a sudden, like we were in that restaurant last night, if all of a sudden a huge wind came through and ripped the roof off of the restaurant and there was a huge, Gordy would be saving all of us.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I feel very safe.
I feel very
physically
safe around. Yeah.
Like when we watch all these shows like Paradise or, all this, and I'm like, I think it'd be in good hands if the apocalypse kind of happened, actually.
No harm could come to you.
We'd survive some shit.
We know you've heard Generation Artax, but are you subscribed? Hit the follow button wherever you listen to podcasts. That's one less thing to worry about and one more thing to look forward to. We'd love to keep this show going, and you can help. Please rate and review. Thanks.
La, la,
Now it's time for a segment we call Unrelated, where one of us asks the others one question that is unrelated to everything that came before. And my question is very opposite of what we've been talking about, very unrelated.
Perfect.
Which is, was there ever a time?
This is a special extra unrelated.
It's extra, super unrelated, very unrelated.
Totes.
Has there ever been a time in your life where, in a moment where you really thought, oh, I'm going to die now? I'm about to die.
Oh, that's a great question.
It is a good one. Do you have one? Do you want to start? Because if you thought of this question, I have to believe you have one.
Mine is, it's not a satisfying answer to this, but
great.
She thought we would fill in the
no.
Okay.
This was in kind of retrospect. Was when I was 32 and I was hit out of fucking blue with sepsis. We have only some ideas of where it might have come from. It was not a tampon. It was But anyway, the point is, I got really
30. That was your 30th birthday. It was 30. Oh, that's right.
Turning 33. I got really, really sick out of the blue on a business trip.
Jesus.
I
think you were turning 33 because we were talking about Jesus.
Oh my God, really? You know what's funny is that when I'd ever gotten my palm read, even casually, like casual, I had gotten more than once, like someone's like, oh, look at your lifeline. Oh, it goes away for a minute and comes back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like,
That's
when?
cool.
And they're like, I don't know. I don't even know where it is now. Yeah. I don't even know where it is now, but it was like, oh, it kind of goes away, but it's there. So that was his moment because I was sick and I made the smart decision to go to a hospital. Whereas if I had said, I just feel sick, I had fever, worsening sickness, and abdominal pain where I couldn't walk. Yeah. That's usually go to the ER for that. But I called my doctor and said, could you call it antibiotic? She goes, no, this sounds really bad. You have to go. And I could have been like,
by the way, you were in Maryland on a work trip.
I said that already.
You did?
I didn't hear you say that.
I said I was on a business trip.
Oh.
So I was in a hotel and I was at a conference and I was supposed to, I knew something was wrong and you can feel sick and not be upset about it. And I was like, something's wrong. And the doctor had originally said, just take more Advil. Thanks, Western Med. Take more and more. But then I was like, now it's worse. And now I can't walk and I can't. Anyway, she's like, you have to get to hospital. If I had said, sure, I'll do that. I just want to lay down. If I had gone back to sleep, I'd be dead. Like it just would have taken over quickly. And instead I dragged my ass out of bed, got into a cab with some coworker, came with me. And I said, where would you take your daughter? And he took me to the University of Maryland Medical Center. And I was there for like a week. But I just was like crying. They put me through every test and they're like, why are you crying? I was like, I have never felt sicker in my entire life. And it wasn't even like, I have a really bad sore throat. Like I was the sickest I've ever been. And I should have been sick because I was dying and bacteria was slowly taking over my whole body. So it's a whole big mystery, blah, blah, blah. My point is, this is when my sister, we were younger. Kim had little kids. Lori and my mom, newborn, Lori got a one-way ticket and just she was working remotely and just.
No, she wasn't. She just went on leave from her job.
You can't work remotely when you're a farmer rep.
Yeah, not on the computer and stuff.
No.
I hadn't even started yet.
She took a leave from the job that she was just about to start. That was my job that she took over at Merck Pharmaceuticals.
How long were you gone? Not long. A week.
I don't remember. Okay. I thought it was 2,
but the way that we found out that you were in the hospital is we were at my house with mom and Joe and whatever because we did have a newborn, and we got a call from an anesthesiologist in Maryland. He's like, "Hi, this is Dr. Da 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 in Maryland. Your daughter Terri, she's here with us. She's on the respirator, but we should be able to get her off." And we were like, "Whoa, what?" Like we had no idea.
It's not like, oh yeah, there she goes on a respirator again. Like I was out.
We didn't even know you were there. That was like our first. It was insane.
I don't feel okay. I thought I remember she was calling us to let us know that like they're telling me go to the hospital. I think we knew that she was rushed to the hospital. I might have missed remember that.
Okay, I might have missed that part.
Regardless, they were telling you knew I was dying though because you said to each other, "What are we going to say? How are we going to understand that she's dead now?"
No. I remember Kim was a mess. Not that I wasn't a mess, but I discovered, as you would only discover when you're in the situation, how you react to these situations. And I learned that I'm in okay, well, what's next? What's happening? Like I get very But anyway, the only reason why I don't know if this counts is because I don't think you had, oh my God, I'm about to die. I think you were just sick.
That's right. I didn't know.
Right.
I went
Which is a
under for
different
surgery.
Yeah.
And I was like, woke up days later and was like, what is happening? Like, sure, you're afraid. You wake up intubated. I woke up intubated in the ICU. I don't know what the fuck is happening. One girl from work came in and screamed in horror and left. Like, I looked terrible. It was a terrifying thing.
You were real bloated, I'll tell you that. I can't believe I don't have any pictures. Because it was before you were like taking pictures of everything. But yeah, you were like crazy bloated.
Yeah.
Like you didn't look like you.
That's terrible.
No.
I saw you. I saw you when you were still in the ICU.
Oh, you did?
I was there. Oh yeah. You were like you were blown up like a balloon.
Yeah, your skin suit was like a big,
you had a big skin suit.
Yeah, then I lost 15 pounds.
It was filled with water.
It was terrible. But then when
they said your organs were shutting down one by one, and they were frantically trying to figure out what was happening inside.
They were taking them out one by one and holding them in their hands.
Yeah,
and then they
like
said there was a weird slime on them. They said
it wasn't. It was. There was a little bit of something, but he said it's antibiotics.
Something that's not normal there. There was an infection, so there was some level of slime. It was an image that burned into my mind.
The surgery
they didn't know which antibiotics. They had all of them on. They had like all these different IVs.
Surgery didn't do shit but create a very long recovery period because they cut me open. They gutted me like a pig.
Yeah.
You know? And my point is, when I woke up totally and was like in a recovery, in a actual hospital room, and everyone was like, oh yeah, you were almost dead. Then I was like, why is everyone like, then when you realize it, it's galling. It's just like, oh shit, you're right. I wasn't like, I'm dying, but I almost died. And then when I saw how bad, like then when I left there, I have lost 15 pounds in a week. I looked like death. It was like, and I said, well, I'm probably going to be okay. And I was like, when can I go back to work? And they're like, you're not going back to work for a while. Like it didn't compute,
Yeah. You're like, don't I just go right back into my... Yeah.
I finally was like within 3 weeks, a month, I was like, I'm going back to work. And I would go. And then at lunchtime, I was like, I have to leave. They're like, okay. It was so odd. How much of a disruption and how many relationships happened as a result, because I couldn't sit in my chair as that editor at that magazine. So someone called in her sister who subbed for me, and I would never have met her. And she became a friend. She introduced me to someone else. Like everything changed because of that. Not just that, but it was also the first time in my life. I don't recommend it, but I had to cancel everything. And I had my full-time job. I taught at BU in some kind of adjunct thing. I was selling jewelry, and one by one, I had to shut down the jewelry. I had to put all my parties off. I had to stop teaching. I gave it off to Janice. I wasn't working. And I literally was like, what do I do now? Like, who am I now? I was the person who did all these things, and they were all gone. And I was like, wow, it's just me. And my only job is to recover. And anyone who's been sick knows what that's like. And it's wild because we are what we do.
Right.
No.
So yeah, I almost died. But did you ever feel like you were going to die?
Wait, I want to say a weird moment about that. I went to your apartment in Waltham to pick up some things because whatever. I don't know what you needed. But I was feeding the cat. That's what it was. Okay, but I went in. I was so shaken and scared. Like I kind of felt that like, okay, everything's about to change. Our whole lives are about to change. She's gonna die. Like I felt that. And then I remember going into your apartment. I can't even describe this feeling because it was the first time, when people say like, oh, so-and-so who died was with me, I could feel it. I've still never felt that except that day. I felt like there was like presence with me.
Oh.
In my apartment, you mean?
No, I think she had like...
you felt like I was visiting you?
No, not you.
Like whoever was like angels, spirit guides.
Whoever was watching me, I felt like, and I've never felt that before or since.
Really?
But it was like an odd because I was so overcome with fear. And then I walked into your apartment to feed the cats, and I just suddenly felt like almost physically supported. Like there was like a warmth around. I don't know.
Oh, that's so wild. You didn't bawl? I think you did.
What? Kim bawled. I was like, she's not dying. That was not on the table for me. I was like, no, it's not happening.
Or it's not on my watch.
Yeah.
Not on my watch.
But no.
Okay.
Well, but like, just a side note. Do you know about, I bought the book. I haven't read it yet. Jim Carrey's book that he wrote. it's a picture of him on the cover. And there was some moment where he lived in Hawaii where they thought Hawaii was about to get bombed. Do you remember this? Like, I remember a while back where everyone got
the alarm went off. Someone screwed up.
And so he got a call from his assistant being like, the bomb's about to hit us. And he describes in talk shows this moment of like, I am about to die right now. And he's like, and the calm that came over him, like, but the moment when he realized he was about to die and he's FaceTiming with her, he accidentally screenshot it just from holding his phone. And it's the cover of the book. And he's like, I put that as the cover because in that moment, in that screenshot, that was the expression of my face when I first found out and genuinely believed I'm about to die in 2 minutes. And he's like, that was what was happening for real on my face, like that frozen moment in time. Interesting. I don't believe I have a moment that I was genuinely like, I'm going to die, or I believe I would remember that and that'd be burned in my brain. But I've had several moments in life where I was like, oh, I'm in a dangerous situation now that is more dangerous than I thought, where all the alarms went off, and then it ended up totally fine. But there was a second where I was like, this could go really, really badly. And this was, there's two of them. And one was when we were in Spain for our trip. And Aaron and I it was the part of the trip where you stayed at somebody's house. And we all snuck out.
You're in high
school.
The girls.
I'm in high school. I'm a junior in high school. So I'm 16, 17. And we all snuck out from our houses where we were staying and went to some bar or something. And we were there. The teacher didn't know we were there, obviously. And then we were like, shit, we need to get home. I don't remember I can like have a flash of the bar. I don't remember the details of which we decided, oh, we'll have these men or boys we don't know who said, get on the back of our bikes and we'll drive you there. And, it was like, all the circles with like the streets that went in a million directions and we would never have been able to navigate it.
Yeah.
And I remember Aaron and I being on these bikes, right? Going really fast late at night I don't even know where we were, like Madrid. I don't even know. And I remember seeing her on the other bike and we were laughing. But then there was that moment of, they might not take us where we want to go. And there's no one, you know what I mean? I don't know.
They could have separated you like easily.
They could have separated us as we were going really fast. It was just one of those, do I need to be on high alert right now? Right? Like paying attention to, all right, where am I turning? Where am I going?
They just dropped you?
And then they just dropped us.
Wow.
Right.
That would never happen in this country.
Right. And like another one that happened where I think I told you guys this. I still can't believe it happened. And Mary and I talk about it because we were together. We were, I believe it was maybe 8th grade where we went to the Bahamas with one of the parents, right? Who apparently just didn't watch us or let us do our own thing. And there was 3 of us and we were like, let's go on a booze cruise. 8th grade. And we were like, okay, we signed up. We paid for the booze cruise, and it was like a well-known one. Like the signs were all there. Like it was in the lobby and all that, right? And being 8th graders, we walk outside to we're trying to find it on the day that we're supposed to go on the booze cruise, and rather than going to like the desk and having them guide us, or maybe they said go outside, and of course a man walks up to us and said, "Oh, you're going to the booze cruise? Come with me." And we got into their fucking van.
Oh my God.
Where they took us to a boat that we got on and went out. And like,
was it the booze cruise?
It was not the booze cruise.
My God. Oh my God.
It was this dude who took us and a couple other people.
Mom is listening to this, like having a heart attack right now.
She's about to die right now.
And he had, a bunch of shitty snorkels, and we're like, oh, I'll take you snorkeling, and then have these drinks, right? And here's some sandwiches, which we drank and ate and then snorkeled, right?
You could have been.
We could just be gone, trafficked. We're on a boat. We're not even on land. Like we're nowhere. So anyway, we're like, I don't think this is the booze cruise. This is kind of a shitty boat.
Just us.
Well, it was like there was a couple other people. Like, so it wasn't just us and this man. But there
No,
was
other people could get
other people got
trafficked
roped
too.
into it, right? Or who knows if they were just standing there and was like, hey, do you want to go on this thing? And I don't know. So it wasn't just the three of us, but it was definitely a moment of like, we're not in the right place. And one of those like, how are we ever like, you know what I mean? Where you're like, okay, this was wrong. We're on a boat, right? Somehow.
But you didn't pay them. You paid someone else.
We probably fucking did give him money. I'm sure. Oh, okay. Why would he take us, right? And so we then see the booze cruise. The big, beautiful boat with tons of people and music, right? And we were like, that's the fucking boat. I would
fucking be like, I'm dead.
How? We swam over to the boat. What? No, we swam over to the booze cruise.
You swam, the guy didn't know you were leaving?
I don't know I don't remember if we were like, we're supposed to be on that boat, or if we were like, let's just fucking go to the boat. And we like went to the other boat.
Did you dive off the boat and go bye?
Well, we were snorkeling and stuff. So we were in the water and we were like,
your stuff.
I don't think we brought a ton of stuff.
No ID?
No clothes?
What ID do you have in 8th grade?
You had no wallet?
I don't know. Maybe we had it
on
us.
You were off the boat and you took his snorkel and you just swam to the booze cruise?
I don't remember stealing the snorkel. Maybe we were docked and we walked down to the other boat. But like we got to the other boat.
But I'm just saying, were you at sea and you see the other booze cruise and you got from that boat, or did you wait till you lost?
We weren't like far. It wasn't like we swam for miles because in the distance we saw a cruise ship. It was either a quick swim. It wasn't like, oh God, do you think we're going to make it? There's no memory of that. It was either we walked to it because we ended up on the same shore, or we were at the same similar snorkeling place. Instead of swimming back towards our boat, we went to the other boat.
Went to that boat where you're like, we're supposed to be on this boat?
We said we're supposed to be on this boat, and this other guy and then I think someone had a fucking clipboard and saw our names on it, and they were like, yeah, you were supposed to be on this boat. Like it was were you confirmed.
Like, who's that
They weren't
guy?
like, we'll just take on these people. Like they were like, oh yeah, you did pay, to be on this boat. So they let us on the boat, and then we had a fucking awesome time. I remember limboing after it, being the limbo contest. We were like, woo, we're on the booze cruise. Like just like just
narrowly dodged being trafficked and
disappearing into the ocean, like to some island.
Was he like, where are you guys going? Like there was nothing weird. Were you?
I don't think we were worried about his feelings at all.
No. Was he like yelling after you, or were you panicked swimming?
No. So it's not the best example in that I'm about to die, but I had the moment of like, we had a moment of like, we're in the wrong place and we're on a boat with people we're not supposed to be on a boat.
That's
like, and nobody knows we're here. Like nobody
in a foreign country.
The parents don't know we're here. We don't even know if we told them we were going on a booze cruise. And even if we did, we are not on that cruise.
So if they ever found that booze cruise and they're like, where are these girls? They'd be like,
well, they never checked in. Is what would have happened. Right. It would have been terrible.
8th grade is a baby.
Is a baby. It's a little baby. So why the fuck were we even limboing and drinking on the booze cruise anyway? It's not like we're a legal drinking age in Bahamas.
Was that the first
time you probably lied?
I can't believe you were drinking in 8th grade. I thought I brought you to Katie's party to drink, and that was your first time. You'd been on booze cruises before.
That was 8th grade that you brought me. It was right before.
Oh, so now I turned you into a drinker.
Yeah, she's like, after that I was off the boat. Well, I wasn't even like a big drinker. It wasn't like I was one of those people who drank all in high school. I'm sure I drank. I think I definitely participated, but I maybe I got sick, and that's why I didn't drink again until junior or senior year. But
right,
dude, the drinking is the sideline. Holy shit.
Yeah.
No, how many documentaries we've all seen where people even disappear off regular cruises?
I can't even believe supposed to be. No, it's horrible. That shouldn't have.
I can't believe any. I mean, Kim, I can believe you were not kidnapped or murdered because you were usually with people. You weren't doing super risky. I can't believe I'm alive. I can't believe Lori's alive.
Can't believe I'm alive.
Anytime
both those times, those two times.
With a man. Anytime you go home with a man, you're like, oh, I'm going to date this. We're going to go. You could be anywhere. Like,
I jumped on foreign vehicles in foreign countries both times.
That is
not great.
Insane.
Yeah, not a good move. So anyway,
I mean, I would take pictures of outdoor of like where I was going and send texts. Here's where I am now.
Yeah, I knew where you were
hard
most
to
of the time.
disappear. It'd be very hard to disappear now.
No, different. It's very different now.
Yeah. But I have to tell you, that is one of the perks of being a dyke, is that you're probably not going to get murdered and raped by that. I mean, I don't want to say never say never.
Statistically lower, maybe.
Statistically you're
lower,
good.
I am not afraid of being raped on it and murdered by a woman on a date. Like, it just doesn't happen.
Right.
The biggest fear you can have with a lesbian on a date is things moving too quickly. That's all.
Right.
Yeah, that'll happen.
But I mean, I can't, Lori. Wow. No
I
idea
know,
who those guys are.
No.
Terrifying.
Horrible.
Wow. Well, yeah, you almost died.
That's what the movie Taken,
I did
all
almost
those
die.
movies.
I know.
Taken,
it was Taken.
That's what they are.
It's
Girls in
really
foreign countries.
To pluck a girl off a boat. Like, how
oh my God.
You guys looking for the booze cruise? Come with me. Get in this van. Jeez.
Yeah. You're like, okay, we'll get into your white van. Oh, wow. I'm sure you'll take us somewhere where we want to be.
I won't even park next to an unmarked van in Market Basket's parking lot.
She won't.
Well,
literally.
You shouldn't.
I have told Kenzie, broad daylight, you never park next to a van. I've said it to Joe how many times I'm in the car with him. If he's driving, he pulls up next to a van and I go, privilege. I would never park here. Right. They're going to take me and kill me.
Kim, I want to hear your story.
I actually texted Joe because I couldn't think of anything, but he said it's similar. Like, I didn't know that it was so dangerous, but like after I had Mason, 15 months later, I had Kenzie, and what?
I didn't know. I was laughing, thinking you were just going the direction of I wanted to die. I was so tired.
No. After I had Mason, I had blood pressure, which can, get kicked off from pregnancy and whatever. And then when I had Kenzie, I was so lost in the, going to the hospital and blah, blah. I just didn't take the meds. And so he was checking my blood pressure at home. And it was like the second day I was home with Kenzie, and he checked my blood pressure and he's like, this is high. Let's call your mom. And so we did. And then we went to the hospital and he went right up and he's like, you need to see her right now and take her blood pressure right now. She just had a baby 2 days ago and blah, blah, blah. And they did. And my blood pressure, all of a sudden they're like, okay, they wheeled out gurney and threw me on it and rushed me back. And I had like EKG things sticking all over me within seconds because my blood pressure was like 210/40 or something insane.
Not over 40.
No,
that's really. I really feel like the number was something insane, like 220/114, something where they're like, yes, you should be already having a stroke right now.
I'm sorry, you're right. I'm not 40. It was like
how
140.
Did you feel? 140. Yeah.
I'm like, listen, my blood pressure was like 100/60.
Like,
no,
whoa.
It was. You're right. It was like, it was something insane, like 220/140 or something.
It was
insane.
something where, it was something where you should 100% have had a stroke. Not like, oh, it's high, you're at risk. It was like, I thought I remember you saying that they said, we don't understand how you're alive right now.
Yeah. And they were like, you don't even have a headache. I was like, I'm a little tired. I was like, I had a baby 2 days ago. And so they rushed me in, they hooked me up to all this stuff and they were like checking my heart immediately. I got whooshed away. And then I was like, I have to pee. And they looked at Joe and they're like, you need to go with it. You cannot go alone. They thought I would have stroked out in the bathroom. And if I locked them out, it'd be a whole thing. So I didn't realize it.
You didn't have any symptoms, and yet you could have just had it. You could have died, or you would have had a stroke. Like, what was the thing that would have happened if you didn't go?
Yeah, I like what
it wouldn't have resolved itself.
No.
So then, what was the thing that made you take your blood pressure if you didn't feel anything?
Joe was checking it because after I had Mason,
so it was a maintenance thing.
I had just had Kenzie, so he was checking to make sure it didn't go up again.
It was a routine check. You weren't like,
Joe was giving me a routine check, but I didn't realize I was skipping my labetalol. And I wasn't like paying attention.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wasn't paying. I wasn't focused on it. I just had a baby.
Postpartum preeclampsia. Yes. And I didn't have any symptoms either. Yeah. And because Kim had it, I took my blood pressure afterwards and it was crazy high. And I did have to also go back to the hospital. And they're like, why did you even check it? I was like, oh, because it happened to my sister. So I figured I'd check it. And then they're like, well, shit, you have it too. And they gave me my meds.
But most people are not checking their blood pressure. So are you saying people are just stroking out, moms left and right?
Probably. Every time I get a headache, I take my blood pressure because I never get headaches. And so it's usually a sign.
Wow. my blood pressure is pretty low. So you didn't, but then you were scared or not when they threw you under all these? Okay, so this is
I was never scared.
None of us had that experience, basically.
Yeah, so none of us had
none of us ever.
Yeah. No,
I'm gonna think of one later. I know it.
I know. Well,
like,
if you
oh my
think of one
God.
later, you can mention it later. But
Yeah.
well,
All right. Well.
all right.
Well, it matters what you think of this podcast. If you were listening to the end, you don't hate it. So that means you like it. So like and subscribe. Follow
More actively
comment.
like it.
Actively like it and actively
comment.
And comment.
I love
and
those
review.
comments. We haven't gone
Just
in a while.
Just put a 5-star and just say awesome.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe just texted me. You were 220 over 100 and the nurse couldn't understand why you weren't having a seizure.
Seizure.
A seizure. Okay.
Or
you like because you know why? Life is a lock and smiling is the key.
Yeah, I was probably smiling.
You're probably smiling through it.
Smiling is the key. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next time.
All right.
That's enough.
This episode of Generation Artax was produced by us, edited by us, and hosted by us. Our theme music is by Danielle Musto. Art and design by Ryan Andrews of ryanmade.com. Please follow, rate, and review to help save more Gen Xers from the swamps of sadness. Follow us on Instagram at Generation Artax, that's ARTAX, and visit us at generationartax.com.